I'm Leslie Youngblood here talking with Megan Wright from Dell Technologies, and we are going to dive into a topic that will probably forever be a topic that we're talking about for the foreseeable future, and that's COVID-19, but specifically as it relates to data security and online security. Megan, I can't imagine how it's changed. Everything has changed, but how have data security programs and procedures stepped up with the increase in online shopping and more employees working from home? And I would imagine that cyber criminals have also stepped up their game too, because they know that everybody is now online and there's more opportunity for them. So I would love for you to dive into that topic a little bit for us.
Absolutely. So, and that's, actually October, Dell is celebrating or launching cybersecurity awareness event and event month. And so this is the month of October. We're just trying to educate and put out as much information as we possibly can, because not only is cybersecurity an important topic pre-COVID, but especially during COVID, like you mentioned, your business has kind of been turned upside down, and it's really dependent on what your industry is. So whether you are retail or hospitality or more of a corporation, there's all of these different industries that it's affected in different ways, and it's affected how your employees are collaborating, communicating. And so that's where we need to take a look at and need to take a step back at how has this affected your business, because then we can understand from there and kind of take a road to, okay, how do we need to protect you in a different way that we hadn't before because of COVID and these implications, a lot of which is because of working remote now.
Right.
And so, whenever you're in the four walls of your office, however you had your solution and your security strategy set up, the moment that your employees step out of that four walls of your office, go home and start working and accessing your critical data, that's something that's been different. That's something that's changed that we haven't thought of before and we need to think of now. You could think, well, we're accessing a server. We have a protected network. We have a server that our employees are accessing remotely. We should be good. But then you have to think of, well, what type of Wi-Fi connection is my employee connecting through? Are they working from an outdoor coffee shop, or are they working from home? Are they working from a family member's Wi-Fi? Because, so much has changed recently. So you really need to have a better understanding of what that connection is. Is it a protected Wi-Fi network? Do we have our employees logging in through a safe, secure VPN, which is a virtual private network? Another really good area to look into for your business, especially if you are now going to have this remote work-life balance and keep this for your employees, because it is proving to be a very effective, a very efficient way for employees to work, depending on your industry. But if you are going to adopt this new kind of format of your business, you need to start thinking of these things, like this protected Wi-Fi security network, and like this virtual private network, and having a server for your employees to access remotely. So there's just a lot of new solutions that you need to think of as a small business owner whenever you do make this transition, like we have in this pivot during these times of COVID.
Now you talk about making sure or using a Wi-Fi that's protected. How do you know if your Wi-Fi is protected? Like, how would you know if you go to your in-laws' house or a coffee shop? What are the things to look for or ask about when it comes to knowing if a Wi-Fi is safer than another Wi-Fi network?
So you can purely ask, is your Wi-Fi a secure network? If they are not sure,
how do I know that my home Wi-Fi is secure? Like, because I have a password? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if let's say if you are in a coffee shop or in a store, in the airport or at home, and you are joining a Wi-Fi network and it lets you join immediately, that is not a secure Wi-Fi connection. So if you do have to, and what we recommend too is, if you are utilizing your home Wi-Fi or your parents' Wi-Fi, your family's Wi-Fi, and the password is that, crazy password that they initially give you on the box and it has never been updated or changed, you are definitely at risk, because those passwords, you're not quite sure if that's been logged in some sort of database that has been hacked or could be hacked in the future. So make sure that if you do have a secure Wi-Fi connection, if you do have that at home or you're upgrading to that, and you do have that password that you can now create, make that extremely, not easily guessable, because that is going to further protect you and your connection. But yeah, so if you instantly can connect to a Wi-Fi connection, I strongly advise you to no longer join that connection and find a new place to connect.
It's funny, our neighbors and well, you like pull up and you look for like your Wi-Fi when you're like on your phone, and every now and then we'll get a Wi-Fi network that pops up. It says FBI van, and we're like, what? And we're like, is that just somebody naming their network FBI van just to freak everybody out? Because then I'm like, that's kind of brilliant if it is, or it's also kind of unnerving.
The FBI's around.
So it just makes me laugh. Like, change the password, change the network name.
Yes.
Makes me laugh. Okay, so yeah, so tell me, have you seen Dell customers pivot their business protections like since the pandemic has hit? Have you guys seen like an uptick in people reaching out and discussing security measures to take?
We have, and we're also seeing a lot of customers now looking into more of these enterprise solutions. So what we recommend is if you, and again, we work with small businesses, 1 to 99 is our focus. So if you are a business of 1 or 2 employees, you don't necessarily have to think of these initial steps just yet, but if you do have 3 or 4 or 5 systems within your network, devices within your network, we definitely recommend looking into not only having that antivirus on your system. We partner with McAfee, which has been a fantastic antivirus company to be partnered with. And so you have to think about your endpoints, and that's kind of, self-explanatory, or it's the first kind of step that you guess to be secure from a data standpoint. But those next steps is if you do have multiple systems within your network, like 3 or 4 or 5, then we need to start thinking of a firewall, we need to start thinking of a VPN, and we need to start thinking of a server. So we've had a lot of customers kind of come to that point and that realization that now that I do have 5 or 10 employees that are now working remote, or I have some in the office, but half my team's working from their homes, we need to start being able to support and better network these systems so we can collaborate still within this environment. And then also make sure that they're more secure. And it's kind of a topic that it's very custom to your business. So it takes a conversation to be had. And we're really happy that we are being reached out to by small businesses looking for more information on those types of solutions, because that is the next step to continue to further that protection of your data.
Right. Now, you've said firewall, VPN, and server. Can you define what those 3 things are and what makes them different, and what make a business need one over another? Because I feel like I hear these buzzwords, or I read about these, I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, what is it specifically?
Sure. So to paint the picture, we kind of like to think of it as, let's say your actual home, your household. You protect that in multiple ways.
Right.
So you have the deadbolt on your front door and your back door, and then you also have an alarm system. So that's how we kind of like to associate the firewall and the server. And so what we think of is the protection for the firewall, that is your actual alarm system. So that's protecting your entire environment away from being, attacked by outside intruders. And then whenever we're actually thinking of, server as well as like your endpoint security solutions, that's that deadbolt on your front door to actually protect from those intruders entering, those outside intruders physically entering your space or your environment. So, and another way that a server can be described too, a server is your centralized network, a centralized storage in a sense. So all of your important files are stored on your server, and your server needs to be protected by your firewall.
Got
so
it.
your firewall is helping with those outside intrusions, your server is storing all your important information, and then you have those endpoint security, antivirus on all of your endpoint systems. So once a hacker is within your environment, let's say if you don't have a firewall, you at least have those endpoint security solutions on your laptops or your desktops. But to further protect it, add in that firewall that your employees have to log into, so there's no external threats coming into your networked environment.
Gotcha. Thank you. That's really helpful. I'm sure hopefully people watching will find that very helpful too. So tell me, Megan, what do you consider the most important business lesson that the pandemic has taught business owners?
I would say the most important lesson is honestly agility. It's just kind of this area that we now need to be thinking, you know, things can happen, and we've seen it now that can impact your small business with having to immediately turn around and go remote, or immediately find all of these different solutions to keep your business up and running. So it's being open to making these changes that we've been pushing into the future. So ensuring that you do have the right solutions for your employees to be more agile, to be remote or in the office, so that your business doesn't miss a beat whenever you do have to make these really quick pivots within your business. So being agile and being open, I think, are the two biggest areas that I can recommend, is being open to this advice, being open to these recommendations for your business, because it's coming from a place of wanting to truly protect and help you continue to grow and not, have to close your doors due to what's the current climate around us.
Right.
And then just and being agile and open to these progressions, in technology. We've talked with many customers, and I have to say, entrepreneurs and startups are some of the best customers to work with, because you are so agile already. You are so open to these new ideas and these fresh innovations. And so that definitely gives you an edge as an entrepreneur and a startup. And so we just don't want small businesses to be stuck in the past, and for that reason be attacked by a cyber criminal or all these other kind of areas that can happen. So we definitely applaud entrepreneurs and startups being so open and agile to these different innovations and changes. And that's really the best thing that you can be doing for your business right now with the current climate.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. All right, guys. I'm Leslie Youngblood here with Megan Wright, wrapping up. Megan's a business development manager at Dell Technologies. We were just talking data security, COVID-19, and how it's changed the business security landscape. Megan, would you like to again share how people can follow up with you and contact you outside of this conversation for more information, or to have a conversation, essentially?
Absolutely. So if you are looking to get in touch with our small business advisors, and just to give you an idea, those teams are based in Round Rock, Texas and Nashville, Tennessee at our sister location. So if you're looking to get in touch with an advisor for some recommendations for your business, please visit dell.com/Accelerate America. This is your dedicated landing page, kind of an end-all be-all to access the benefits of our amazing partnership that we have. So you can reach out to our small business advisors. You can also, if you're looking to purchase something pretty quickly and utilize your special benefits and savings, that can be accessed on the landing page as well. And then if you'd like to get in touch with me directly, if you have any questions just based on this session, or if you'd like me to get you in touch with a small business advisor directly, feel free to email me. That email is Megan_Wright@Dell.com. That's MEGAN_WRIGHT@Dell.com.
Awesome. And check out the information below this video too for Megan's email address, as well as the other links that she noted. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to our Accelerate America channel. Megan Wright from Dell Technologies, thank you so much again. We love our partnership that we have with Dell and everything that you guys do for our small business customers and small businesses everywhere. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Thank you. Bye.